that is just it. I am too tired. Wow. So I got all set up. You could tell I'm still dressed from work. So I get everything set up and don't turn my camera on. What a dumb bunny. What a dumb bunny I am. Anyway, well, I better edit all that out of the beginning. Can you imagine some new person just stumbling onto the show going, what? That's the first time that ever happened. And thank you, Casey. Yeah, I literally got home from work, went to a convention oversight committee meeting, then started mapping out. We've got a hearing tomorrow at the Colorado. It's a committee. The way they do the bill process here, I don't need to get into that, but it's the first hearing on a really, really horrible ballot access bill. So I started thinking about that and reading some of the material, and then came right down here. All the while dealing with a truly despicable person on Twitter. Not even going to get into the details except to say, when I was coming home from work today, if you had said, do you think you can still be surprised as to how disgusting some very small minority of people in this party can be? I would have said, I don't think I can be surprised anymore. I was wrong. I can be surprised. My God, some people are terrible. Those of you who are on Twitter tonight might have seen that thoroughly despicable display. But you know what? That's what you deal with. I give myself a few moments to be upset because, I'm a person who's very in touch with their emotions. But you know what? After being upset, I'm like, keep your eye on your work, girl. And that's what I do. But yeah, I really wish there weren't terrible people in this party. That just thoroughly despicable. My God. My anger quickly turns to pity. And we are going to turn to LP News. Oh, but before we do that, let me do my YouTube stuff. If I can find it. I hesitate to put my Facebook up here because I'm still on the 24-hour ban. That now has lasted 3 weeks because Facebook is in this bug. They're trying to fix it for me. But I will say, forget about Facebook for right now because I can't get into that account. But Twitter is on fire. There's the few jerks like I mentioned before. But in general, follow me on Twitter. I follow back. So, if that means anything, I would appreciate a follow. I'm Karen Ann Harlos on Twitter. And also, how come I can't hide that? Here we go. I am just, there we go. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, please support me at Patreon at Pink Flame of Liberty. All right. We're going to get to the LP News. One reason why I was just so determined to do it tonight, despite just being, as you can tell, completely discombobulated, is I'm going to the anti-war rally this weekend. Super, super excited about that. So, and yay, got Defend the Guard passed out of committee. Hopefully the terrible Colorado bill will get killed in committee, but we'll see. They've moved the schedule around. I'm absolutely convinced it's to keep people from testifying. Just learned today there might be some real big money behind this bill. Isn't that always the case? Just trying to screw third parties over. But Saturday morning, this is my weekend schedule. So Saturday morning, I'm flying out to Maryland. Going to meet up with some friends from the Libertarian Party of Maryland for dinner. Sleep, hopefully. And then out to D.C. for the Rage Against the War Machine protest on Sunday. And then flying home Sunday night. That's quite a weekend for an old lady like me. But here we go. We're going to finish where we left off last time. And that was on basically just bits and pieces of LP news from LP affiliates, January, February. Did I put 1974? No, it's not. Did I put 1974 in the title of this? It's 1975. I'll change it afterwards if I did. Telling you, I am just ahead with the chicken cutoff today. Now I'm trying to remember where we left off. I think it was with Ohio. In any event, that's where we're going to start. I did put 1974. I was just envisioning myself typing this and I'm going, I think I put 1974. It's 1975. I will change that. I will change that after this broadcast. Boy, I'm just batting 1,000 today. Is that even a thing? I don't know sports. I probably screwed up that analogy. So Ohio, a strong, hardcore, full-time candidate is the best investment Libertarians can make in any political campaign. That's the word from LPer Kathleen Haroff, the Libertarian independent candidate for U.S. Senate, who picked up over 80,000 votes in her campaign. Kay has compiled a detailed analysis of her strengths and weaknesses, good material for serious LP campaigners. I would love to see that detailed analysis. You see, that's part of the problem. This stuff doesn't get preserved. Oklahoma, LPers here report an extremely favorable reaction to their booth at the state fair, with 12,000 pieces of literature handed out. While no LP candidates were on the ballot, many party members worked on behalf of 2 candidates who scored very high on the questionnaire. One of these, for state legislature, won. That's unusual. We don't usually hear about people winning in these things. So yay, 1975. Oregon, activity in the LP is centering on the state convention that took place in Portland on January 25th. 2 heavyweight speakers were present: Tony Nathan, Oregon LP vice chairperson, and Sanford Cohen, the New York LP congressional candidate. Libertarians are continuing to carry on their educational efforts throughout the state. Pennsylvania, the LP is utilizing the time until the next election to research the election code and actively laying the groundwork for LP ballot status in 1976. Regional chapters are working on membership drives and position papers to be used for publicity and education. So you can see in almost all of these, it's LPs gearing up. So, I can imagine that was quite an exciting time. Probably quite tumultuous too, with some of the stuff maybe even we're seeing today. Okay. Tennessee. Party members are gearing up for the state convention in Nashville on February 14th and 15th. Featured speaker will be Roger McBride. Boy, he goes to, you guys know when I was in campaigning mode, I went to a lot of state conventions. This dude, it's like, I feel like I'm watching my own, reading my own itinerary from last year. If y'all remember, I was gone every weekend. Every weekend. It was insane. And and I've done that a couple, is it biannual? That word is always confusing. Does it mean twice a year or every 2 years? Biannual, I think, means every 2 years. I was doing that biannually for a while because I was in heavy campaigning mode. I don't think I could do that again. That's really rough. But McBride, he was working the circuit. Tennessee, party members are gearing up for the state convention in Nashville on February 14th and 15th. Featured speaker will be Roger McBride. Is it biennial, Nathan? Because we've been saying biannual. Does biannual mean twice a year? It says it in our bylaws, doesn't it? Or is it in our policy manual? Now you got me curious. Because I looked at some literature that needed to go out today. Well, excuse me. I looked at some literature today that needed to go out. It didn't need to go out today. Biannual is twice a year. Oh. I just looked that up. I'm going to have to email Lainey. Because at the convention committee tonight, we looked at an email to go out to the members, and I think it described our convention as biannual. God, those terms. So I want to look up biennial now. I'll email. Don't let me forget, you guys. When I go to sign off the show, say, before your booty leaves the basement, email. Yeah, biennial is taking place every other year. Don't let me forget. It will be so embarrassing if I helped approve an email that said biannual. Okay. I did correct the Oxford comma, though. So the Oxford commas are correct in this email. Lainey showed us this email, and I'm going, I'm having the Oxford twitch. All right, party members are gearing up for the state convention in Nashville on February 14th. Oh, we already did that. Roger McBride, their newsletter, Liberty Bell. California had a newsletter called Liberty Bell, too, I think. I like testing my memory. Let's go look that up on Lpedia. Because I know there was a newsletter called Liberty Bell. And I'm pretty sure it was California. I love when I remember shit. I'm going to show you guys this. Maybe move this over a little bit. Yep, Liberty Bell was a tabloid format newsletter published by the Libertarian Party of California. So it looks like Tennessee had one called Liberty Bell as well. Let's look at an issue or two of this. So you can see this was large format. Nice job on it, though. I always look to see if there's anything just like really, really interesting. Sometimes some of the advertisements, like somebody was just advertising a blouse. Slip-on butterfly sleeve blouse. Sounds cute. I would have liked to have seen it. All right, let's do a quick peek at maybe the January one. Clinton. Is this Bill Clinton? 93. Okay. And you can, they compared the Communist Manifesto to the Constitution. Hey, Julian, haven't seen you in a while. Kim Gold, wasn't, JJ and Richard, wasn't Kim Goldsworthy a parliamentarian? Because I think that's how I know them. And then, yeah, you can see, just very, very interesting sometimes to look at this. So, Kim was state chair for a while of California. I did not know that. Look at this. The Libertarian Party wants to refund your parking tickets. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go back. That was just a little trip into the past. Wanted to make sure my memory was correct, that the Liberty Bell that I knew about was from California. How long ago did he pass away? It was fairly recently, wasn't it, Richard? Okay, let's continue. So the Liberty Bell carefully monitors the activities of the state legislature and includes proposals on how the LP can be effective. Texas, December saw a joint LP Society for Individual Liberty convention in Houston with discussions of resistance, land use planning, politics, and the oil industry. 2 Dallas area LPers were heard for 2 hours on a radio talk show. Utah, the LP's new newsletter is Freedom Express. I haven't heard of that one either. Started up in December, it contains a number of original articles dealing with labor, profits, justice, and other good stuff. The editor has been talking libertarianism to junior high school classes in the area. Virginia. The party in Virginia has undergone a reorganization. That doesn't sound at all familiar. Excuse me, I almost swallowed my hair. It's 1975, people. You didn't been around long enough to have a reorganization. And has a new executive committee headed by Chairman Dick Gentry and Vice Chairman Charlie Breeden. The recent convention in Arlington resulted in renewed efforts to organize libertarian activities throughout the state. Washington. The big news in Washington state was the third annual LP convention, which had National Chairman Ed Crane as a featured speaker. The new state chairman is Richard Diamond. Skip Barron won ballot access for the LP in his legislative district by garnering over 10% of the vote in recent elections. Wisconsin. On January 25th, the state convention elected Helen I. Slavins, chairwoman, Jan Millard, vice chairwoman, and Susan Meyer, secretary. Wow, three female officers. The LP received recent coverage. I'm going to, hold on, circle that, because I always look for these articles when they're mentioned. Oh, the Reno Resetter, like your name. The Galloping Green thing. Originally it was put up there in tribute to Andy Craig because of the noise he makes. Here's the noise. So yeah, that's Bunchy. Bunchy's our little buddy now. He makes us smile. How can you not smile looking at that face? Bunchy will probably get a lot more interesting with the dissociative you've just ingested. Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to ruin your trip mentioning the esteemed Mr. Craig. On January 20, okay, we did that. They got some coverage. We're going to look that up. A current LP effort is a petition drive placing on the April ballot a referendum item that, if passed, would prohibit the Madison City Council from passing any ordinance which directly or indirectly prohibits, regulates, or suppresses sexual conduct between consenting adults. And Canada, or as I jokingly say, and as apparently the White House press secretary also says, Canada is included here. The new, if you didn't see that utterly embarrassing press conference, oh my word, the way she stuttered over, it reminded me. Do you remember that beauty pageant contestant who was asked like about the most pressing problems in the world, and she was like, and like the Iraq and education, and I really care. That's exactly what she sounded like. And then ended, with over Canada. I'm like, yeah, okay. The November-December issue of Option reports that the Libertarian Alternative, which is the Alberta Provincial LP, held a convention which elected a new executive for the group and developed organizing plans for the future. I was starting to think in my head, I wish we reported more on the Libertarian Party of Canada. We should, don't you think? I mean, neighbors. In the Edmonton City Council race, Libertarian Bruce Vaughan received 4,200 votes, placing 9 out of 17. Peter Yuka got 1,016th place. All right. I'm going to put that up here. that has some stuff we need to look up. And we're actually making good progress on this LP News. I do hope to be able to stream tomorrow, but I do have a lot of work as well to do in getting ready, to be out of town for the weekend, which was unexpected, which, makes me have to shove a bunch of tasks in a little while, but of course it was a pleasant surprise. I don't know yet if I have the consent of the persons who helped make this possible. So I don't want to name any names, but I'm extremely, extremely grateful for that. And I'm just going to hang out a moment just to see if there's any questions or anything I need to address before I take off. And then, I'm probably going to go work on packing tonight. Maybe. I got other stuff I can do too, like sleeping. Precious little time for that. But bunchies are buddy. All right, everyone. I am just giving you all about one more minute. I'm going to sing the Jeopardy theme. Oh, biennial. My God, thank you for reminding me. I got to do that once we sign off. All right, I will see you tomorrow. I do thank you for spending this time with me and having some patience with just my forgetting to turn the camera on. That was fun. That was interesting. I am going to edit that out once Google finishes. When you first upload a video that's live, it doesn't let you edit it right away because it's processing. And sometimes that could take, a day. So hopefully I'll remember tomorrow to edit it. Otherwise, this one's going to be interesting. So have a good night, y'all. And I truly, truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians or choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a